Hey, what's happening everyone? Welcome back to a brand new episode from Melbourne, Australia. We're going to explore the city for the next few days, so stay tuned and hopefully you enjoyed this episode.
Heard them say our best days pass us by, and most long for a place that they never find. I'm afraid I wake up when I die, and it is too late to climb any mountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal.
So guys, just made it out of the train station and this is the first view of Melbourne, and what can I say, it looks fantastic. It's a splendid day, you know, sun shiny. You know, it's been a while since it's been that great. From what I was told, the last couple of days they had a little bit of smog from the winds that brought over, you know, some of the smoke from the bushfires, but it's beautiful out today. It's excellent positivity all throughout. So yeah, let's explore Melbourne and see exactly what the city has to offer. And at one point or the other, you're gonna find yourself in the Federation Square here in Melbourne. And again, more and more tennis stuff because the Australian Open is about to start here soon. But yeah, they have this blue, not sure exactly, supposed to represent the tennis court or not, but yeah, Federation Square is quite marvelous. You get new architecture, contemporary architecture. You get some old architecture as well. You know, the train station. It's quite you know, quite the, I wouldn't say colonial, but it does have that that look. You know, with the beautiful bronze dome. You get a cathedral right there, so it's quite a few eccentric and quite a few mixes of old and new all throughout the city center of Melbourne. Now, a building that will pop up in your eyes as soon as you you know, walk the streets of Melbourne is the Forum, guys, which is a concert hall. But if you look at it, you know, closely to the details, to the architecture, it's like, man, it's could be a cathedral, you know, it could be a, you know, religious monument, but it's actually just a concert hall. You know, it has some oriental influences as well as some gothic influences. So here's the deal. One of my favorite things in Australia so far has been the 7-Eleven coffee. For $1 Australian dollar, you know, 70 US cents right now, or 60 Euro cents, you can get a cappuccino, you can get a long black coffee, you name it. It's phenomenal for the price, and it tastes actually excellent. And by far one of the most visited buildings in Federation Square here in Melbourne is the Center for the Moving Images. I believe that's the official name, you know, could be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things, but yeah, it's a very contemporary modern art building, you know, quite a bit of glass and quite expansive all throughout. You can find shops, you can find museums, whole bunch of stuff. And you definitely have to come down by the Yarra River. You know, the views by any waterfront, you know, make it a sea, make it the ocean, make it a pond, you know, there are always gonna be great views by the promenade, you know, by a boardwalk, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's fantastic everywhere I've been. You know, the views, some of the best views are by water. So yeah, definitely Melbourne has some of those. So definitely by far the best views that I have seen so far in Melbourne, here on the south side of the Yarra River, looking back at the city. Check it out, the skyscrapers, the train station, you know, the bridges. You know, I'm gonna follow along the river and see exactly. This is definitely a night spot for photography. Maybe a great view of the cathedral, move a little bit right here. Not sure exactly, maybe a little bit from further from there, or from the top of the river, or maybe there's a viewpoint somewhere. But outstanding overall so far, no doubt. In front of St. Paul's Cathedral. Let's take a look inside and see how it looks. Oh, quite nice. Check it out. And downtown, one of the most famous and recognizable buildings by its shape is the State Theater. It has this, you know, rooftop or whatever you want to call it, hat, just spearing up the sky. But yeah, it's you cannot miss it. It's pretty much everything in one spot. All the major highlights you can find in here by the river. You know, just beside me you have the National Gallery of Victoria. You know, the the Australian Open is right there somewhere. You know, pretty much everything is concentrated in Melbourne. It's quite you know, enjoyable to have everything in one spot. If you get a little closer to the National Gallery of Victoria, it's quite the imposing building, and check it out. And this is the entrance, and it looks like it has some type of Aboriginal art, you know, with a waterfall behind it. Well, really not sure if that's actual Aboriginal art or what, but yeah, it's something very, very similar.
Best days passes by, and most long for a place that they never find.
Another intriguing building right here. It says South Bank Theatre. You know, so far we have seen a lot of cultural places all throughout Melbourne, no doubt. I mean, this one stands out just because of you know, the geometric shapes that you know, they're kind of making you think it's a cube there, but it's not. It's just the facade, which looks quite nice, no doubt. But yeah, you got a whole bunch of intriguing buildings all throughout this city. You know, some of them more intriguing than the others. Not sure exactly what you guys think, but the cities that have trams, that still have trams all throughout, always have been intriguing to me. It seems like there's a different vibe when you have the trams. You know, it's been it's something of a nostalgia, but it's also something of you know, a city keeping its roots and you know, trying to maintain a portion of its past, no doubt. Very similar to Sydney. You know, Melbourne has a lot of parks, a lot of green spaces all throughout. I mean, there's no wonder, you know, why Melbourne was voted top, like #1 city, most livable city in the world multiple years in a row, and it's always in the top 5. One of the largest monuments in the city of Melbourne is the Shrine of Remembrance, dedicated to the people that have fallen during World War I. So it's located right in the middle of the gigantic park. I think the House of Parliament is somewhere there. I think Melbourne used to be the seat of Parliament until Canberra, which is its actual capital, was built, you know, back in the early 1900s. So until it was finished, Melbourne was the place where negotiations and other administrative and governmental things were taking place. And all the way up you can get quite a view of the city. Definitely really nice. Quite a bit of haze right now because the sun is located opposite, but yeah, definitely a great view. So the museum, the shrine, has a lot of galleries, you know, showing clothing and different stuff that the Australian army had throughout the First World War. You know, you got a whole bunch of historical facts, you know, well, pyramids, yeah, whole bunch of information boards, you know, a whole bunch of stuff underground. Actually, it's way larger than it looks on the outside.
eternal.
And again, just splendid views, you know, from these open space parks. You know, that's the cool thing about having so many throughout the city. You can get great views of the skyline as well. You know, put a sculpture right here, something you know, athletic, and you know, you get the perfect foreground and the perfect background, you know, plus you get palm trees too. You know, I gotta point out that Flinders Street Station, it's definitely, you know, a marvel. You know, it's so well maintained, refurbished, you know, everything's so well organized. I mean, it looks quite nice, no doubt. Actually, this is the second type of statue that I've seen in this manner with, you know, doesn't mean much, but if you look closely enough, there's a whole bunch of representations. If you go a little bit deeper into the city, you'll find some old architecture that is just as stunning as the new one. Check it out. This looks like you know, ancient Darth Vader building. And a few glimpses at night of Federation Square. Quite a few buildings get lit up. Always helps with photography.
Heard them say our best days pass us by, and most long for a place that they never find. I'm afraid I wake up when I die, and it is too late to climb any mountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal.